What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Badwolf. What is this video about? Bum, 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 as my son would say. So this is Maine lawsuit against the IRS for unfair trade practices by F. William Messier and David E. Robinson. So I just picked up this book. So I'm not necessarily sponsoring. I'm not getting paid for it, but well, I've got a whole stack of books over there and even a larger growing library. So I'm going to tell you right now that if you guys are having IRS issues, back tax issues, status issues with them, you're going to you need to go and get this book. Now, I pulled this one off of Amazon only for like maybe, I don't even know, 10 or 12 bucks or something like that. It is hot fire. Okay, so within the state of Maine, Maine Superior Court, and they basically took the IRS to court, and it lists a number of defendants. And I'm talking about they took AT&T, the U.S. Senate, Crown Atlantic, Nextel, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So the short version of this is that they hit him with unlicensed practice, failure to disclose material facts, misrepresentation of terms and conditions, false or misleading advertising, exploitation of vulnerable individuals, failure to refund funds, deprivation of remedies. That one I like. Under the law. So that is the one I'm going to use later for something I'm working on. All right. So, in this book, the relief requested is that they violated the debt collection practices, order the IRS to cease and desist violating 15 U.S.C. Chapter 41, Subchapter V, debt collection practices. Cease and desist payments to the IRS. Order the IRS to refund and pay twice the amount of the payment surrendered to the IRS. Oh yeah, because once you know the fraud that's going on, you can get your money back and then some. Because remember, since day one, when you were, paying taxes as a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, that was by voluntary purposes on your behalf. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have the same results as these people, but you got to start somewhere. All right. And remember, guys, everything here is educational entertainment purposes from your favorite non-belligerent, non-combatant. But let's take a look. Now, I'm not going to give away all the secrets of their book because, I do believe in supporting people who've gone through the fire, which is, why some of us charge. I don't know why some people do, but because we're bringing you stuff that you don't have to go through, okay? So when our cars get towed or we have to take people to court and whatever else, guys, it's you got to pay to play, as they say. All right, so I just made a couple of notes that I want to give you as clips from here. It's a good read, guys. I just read this whole thing yesterday. So here, an individual may be under no obligation to do a particular thing, and his failure to act creates no liability. But if he voluntarily accepts or attempts to act and do a particular thing, he comes under an implied obligation in respect to the manner in which it does. Guardian TD Company versus Fisher, 1906, 26 SCT 186188. So in other words, unless they own you as property or you admit that you are a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen or that you're a state or federal employee, they can't bind you to obligations because it's slavery. And slavery was outlawed in all of the states. Right? Think about it. All right. So, basis of claim. The IRS is a private debt collection agency and has no authority to take by force any records, property, money, or thing of value without the consent, without a court order from a United States District Court. Okay? Here's why. Because the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, is not the internal revenue. The internal revenue is the government. And if they come a knocking, you messed up. Bad. That's why most of you guys have never heard from them. But the IRS is a private debt collection corporation. Now we know, guys, that just like the certificate of live birth, and then they issue a birth certificate. So they play the name game very close, which is why even some of the people who work for them are on the bandwagon of, you guys are trying to be sovereign citizens, Mr. Police Officer. Right? Okay? So they all don't know what's going on, and they are our fellow American nationals. That's the hardest part about this. But my hat goes off to them. It's a game well played because, well, we outnumber them. And so if you can't control them all directly, make them fight amongst themselves with the chaos and confusion, and then they won't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. All right. So let's see what else we got here. Fraudulent use of notice to levy, Form 668-A. Most IRS agents have been mentally programmed to be aggressive in dealing with sovereign citizens, which, remember, there's no such thing other than somebody who's exerting their rights, who's a non-citizen national, in either the proper or improper way. Okay? But sovereign means king, lord, and citizen means slave or citus, property of the city. You can't be both. You can't serve two masters. Okay? And because we have allowed them to do all of this, they often ignore legal procedures, which we've seen with many of these corporations and whatnot, and responsibilities which are written up in their own internal codes. Okay? The use of Form 668-A, Notice of Levy, is an example of a fraudulent use of an instrument and the usurping of powers not available to them. So they're overstepping. Okay? If a person liable to pay any tax neglects, so first of all, they said a person, okay, so a corporation, liable, so if the corporation is liable, they have to pay. But are you the corporation? Or refuses to pay the same within 10 days after notice of demand, it shall be lawful for the secretary to collect such tax, and such further sum shall be sufficient to cover the expenses of levy, by levy upon all property and rights to property, except such property as is exempt under Section 6334. So if you guys check out Section 334, it's going to tell you what they can and cannot take from you. The IRS has no authority to levy on any property that is not in possession of the United States government or the U.S. government. Not so much the United States of America, we're talking about the U.S. Remember, there's a difference there. There's three different definitions to the word the United States. Fraud destroys the validity of everything in which it enters. So if you can find one shred of fraud, smells Wargo, because I know you guys are watching, it vitiates the entire deal. Okay? If you as a payor rely upon the illegal use of Form 668-A to send money to the IRS without an accompanying court order, you will be named as party to fraud. So paying them RICOs you, the RICO Act, you into part of the fraud and deception. Guys, there's lots of their codes, United States codes, that you guys can find in this book that will help you. There's even some sample letters that you can issue to them. According to Title 15, Section 1692, a debt collector must legally identify himself, must not state that the consumer owes any debt. So right there, guys, that in itself is fire. So if they admit that you owe a debt, do I owe a debt? Yes, you do. You just violated the Title 15 of Section 1692, and you just vitiated or destroyed or voided the deal, because you can't say that you owe a debt because it's not actually a debt. Must not use any symbol that indicates that he is in the debt collection business. 4, must not imply that he is affiliated with the United States government or any of the states. Void judgments. Okay, so unlawful acts of revenue officers or agents. 26 USC 7214, offenses by officers and employees of the United States. Let's see. 31 USC Chapter 3 does not list, and this is in the does not list the IRS as an agency or part of the Treasury Department. 31 USC Subtitle 4, Section 9101 does not show the IRS as a government-owned corporation under government corporations. The IRC, Internal Revenue Code, is not statutory law in any case and cannot serve to authorize any agency. Getting the Jedi mind tricks. FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, requests to the IRS for a copy of their corporate charter will similarly be responded that it is privileged internal administration data and not subject to FOIA. All right. FOIA requests to the IRS on what authorizes their activities in statute law comes back with the frivolous and gibberish status that their activities are authorized by the Internal Revenue Code. So in other words, they're not subject to FOIA because they're not a government agency, because they're not the Internal Revenue. The U.S. district courts cannot, by case law, make statute law. Okay, so the district courts cannot, by case law, make statute law where statute law does not exist, nor can the courts give themselves jurisdiction where the legislative body, Congress, by public law has not given them specific judgment or specific subject matter jurisdiction. 28 USC Section 1340 confers only civil jurisdiction for 26 CFR. The IRS making a return of information document to the USDJ to attempt illegal prosecution of a citizen for 26 CFR offense on which there are none, knowingly falsifying using IRC code sections is a felony, conspiracy against citizen rights, and falsifying writings and fraud, and obstruction of justice. That's another good section right there. All right. All right, so we're getting at time here. Citation. So Supreme Court, Spreckle Sugar Refining Company versus McLean 192 US 397, page 416. A citizen is exempt from taxation unless the same is opposed by statute in clear and unequivocal language. You have to agree to it. Yeah, so if you guys want to know more about the fraud and what's going on, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's definitely worth a read. So once again, guys, this is Maine lawsuit against the IRS for unfair trade practices. Find yours on Amazon today. All right, guys, that's it. I will talk to you guys later because I got to get to some consultations because some more people want to learn about their rights and freedoms versus their privileges and benefits and licenses. So that's it. Once again, thank you guys. Don't forget to check out the merchandise down below. Like, what, is the merchandise not sexy? I mean, you know, it's like sales are kind of slow, man. You guys asked for it, now they're here. But oh wait, that's right, it's summertime. So now you guys will start wearing some nice stuff. All right, so wear the wolf, but don't kill a wolf to wear its fur because that's wrong. Especially me. Don't wear me. But yes, wear me. Wear my gear. All right, so that's about it, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Take care. Don't forget to check out blacksite32.com. And, well, once you're there, check out all the offers and whatever. So right about now, things should be populating. Check out these other videos. Check out the playlist. Oh, and for those people who want to see all of the files, go to the YouTube main page. Either click the uploads, and then once you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there should be a view all. Click that, or use the search bar to search through all the videos. I just added a new playlist where it says full lists of videos or full video list. That's where you can see all the videos, guys, because otherwise YouTube may not show you all of them. So I'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that like, the bell, and subscribe. Or also subscribe to the private area, the Wolfpack. Join today. And I'll talk to you guys later. That's about it. And don't forget, guys, if you see anybody using any of this information for any nefarious or BS purposes, calling us the word, report them for harassment and bullying and whatever else. I would appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys later. You guys are wonderful. Ciao.